guys, Chef Carol here. Karibuni jikoni. That's Swahili and it means welcome to my kitchen. I'm inviting you today for these real deep conversations that I want to have with you. I call these stories of an African woman. This is the African woman. And today I just want to talk to you about the power of prayer and why we should hold on to our dreams and pray about it. So, join me in this real deep conversation. I've just come back from shooting a television show with one of my best stashers in Germany. And I really want to talk about what this means to me. And cheers, guys. I said I have to have a glass of sparkling wine while doing this because I am celebrating and I'm so grateful for this blessing that has happened to me. I have always wanted to be on television. Always. I have been praying for that. Whenever I pray, I always ask God, please God, I want to be on television. Please God, I want to be on television. And I'm very constant with my prayers. So the other day I was talking to my sister and allow me to take a sip of this. I was talking to my sister and we were talking about this topic of prayers and how we should always tell God what we want. And I told her how specific I am with my prayers. Like, I don't ask God to bless me. Like, bless me. Bless me with what? That is too ambiguous, you know? And I tend to think that God has a lot to do. And that's what I always say. Please don't try to, don't give him these ambiguous prayers. Tell him specifically what you want. And I'm very big on asking. Because I believe, because it's in the Bible. You have not because you ask not. And I ask for small things, and I ask for big things. I ask for really. If you guys had me praying, you would start laughing or you would be shocked because I talk to God like my friend, and I ask him, you know, there's this dream. My big dream is to have my own television show on German television or on Kenyan television. It doesn't matter. I want to have my own television show. And what I do is I ask step by step. The big dream, the big prayer is I want to be on television with my own show. So the steps, I pray that in steps. Like, it would be okay if I got just one show to do with somebody on television. But then at the end of my prayer, God, I want to have my own television show. I want to have my own television show. And these are prayer I do every single day. What I believe is, if you're constant with your prayers, if you're really constant, you know what you want, and you pray God for that, you'll get it. Like, I've now been, how many times? About 4 or 5 times on German television. I was also featured on BBC and also Kenyan television, which was a great honor for me on KTN. And these things have been happening because my biggest wish is that. And that is where I become alive. I feel like I get air out of that. And because I want that so much, and I pray for it every time. And sometimes, you know, I feel like God just gives it to me because it's like, oh God, not again, just have it now. And you have to be like that. You have to be consistent in your prayers. I've been praying for this. I'll tell you, when I was young, I used to stand in front of the mirror and just talk, like talking to the mirror, like I was doing an interview. And I would talk to the mirror, I would talk about everything with the mirror. And it was like a conversation. And when I grew up or when I became older, I continued with this. So what I do nowadays is in my car, when I'm alone, I talk. So I interview Oprah Winfrey, I interview all these people. I've talked to Tyler Perry, not in real, but that's, and I'm happy about it. And I just sit there and I have a conversation with them. And this is how I tell God what I want to do. And my prayer is always, I'm doing, even when I'm having these interviews and these conversations, my sisters tell me I'm crazy. They always tell me, I am Wajakoya clan. That's what my sister has been telling me lately. Yeah, but this is what I do. I talk. And these conversations, I always have them in my kitchen because this is a place where I feel at home. This is a place where I spend most of my time. Like I feel like I need to have these conversations in my kitchen. I like combining everything with food because that's what I can do best. So if you can start from what you can do best and from that point, try to magnify that, you'll be on the right track because you're doing something you love. And even if you have a job, you can still have something on the side which you love doing, because that is where you get air. That's where maybe I'm lucky and I thank God for that. I'm lucky to be doing the thing that I love doing and also earning money out of that. But when you're doing things that really, really make you happy, you sleep better, it's such a blessing. And today, being on television and shooting this television show with one of my really favorite TV stars, I stood there and just said a little prayer and I said to God, thank you for this. Thank you for answering this prayer. The other thing I always talk about is also praying for small things. You pray for small things like, please God, when we sit in the morning for breakfast with my kids, we always say a gratitude prayer in the morning and also ask God for one or two things. So the thing I do is that I ask God to bring my kids back home safely. So that's a small prayer. And when that happens, I say a prayer of gratitude in the evening. I thank God for all the things that He has made possible because it's a miracle. It's a miracle every time. Every time you get into a car, come from A to B safely, it's a miracle. And we should be thankful for these small things, because what I believe is when you're thankful for these small things and you talk to God about them, I think He's like us. When you give somebody something and they're thankful for that, you feel like you want to give them more. And that's what I believe. So when I pray to God and something happens and the prayer is answered, I am grateful and I thank Him for that. And I thank Him also for the things that have not yet happened, because I believe. I'm a believer. I'm not a religion fanatic, but I am a spiritual person, and I believe in the power of prayer, and I pray. And the dream I have, and this dream I believe will come true, is to have my own television show. So you guys, if you have a dream, hold on to that. Keep praying. Be constant. Be constant with your prayers. Every day, talk about that. Write that down. Write it down. The other day, my sister was telling me she wrote some things down about, 10 years ago. And then she found that while cleaning the house. And she told me everything she had prayed for had happened. And because she was not really aware that things were happening because they happened slowly, she did not take the time to be thankful for that. And that's why I'm saying, hold on to your dream, be thankful, pray, but also keep working hard, because these things will not find you sitting in the house. Like in another video, I'll talk about how I got to be on German television. These things don't get you sitting at home. So please keep working hard, keep praying, keep loving, and keep, like always, making good food choices, and talk to God, guys. Just talk to God. Hear that from me, and I can testify many other things that have happened to me. Just talk to God.